Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Lavinia with Top Notch Property Management.
Yes!
Last episode we talked about the rights of a tenant and you should be aware of them when you go to sign your lease. But you should also know your responsibilities. As a tenant, you also have responsibilities that if you fail to accomplish them, then you might be evicted. You should of course pay your rent on time, pay your deposit up front, and respect all the rules and regulations that you previously agreed upon when signing the lease. So you should keep the property clean, remove the trash in a sanitary way, make sure you don't disturb your neighbors, conduct according to the lease agreement and regulations, keep all plumbing fixtures clean and unblocked, and make sure you don't destroy the property. And of course, if you don't pay the rent, you can be evicted, but that cannot happen without a court order. So there are a few steps that the landlord or the property manager will take before being able to evict you. So they will start by giving you a 3 days notice. The 3 days notice for not paying the rent will inform you that you have failed to pay the rent on the day that it was due. So through that notice, practically, the landlord or the property manager will inform you that you have 3 days to pay the rent that is due, or else they will file for an eviction. It doesn't have to be delivered by a sheriff. Usually the landlord or the property manager will deliver it, will mail it, if they will not deliver it in person, but if they mail it, they will have to add 5 days. And those 3 days should not include weekend or holidays. If you pay the entire amount in those following 3 days, then the owner has no right to file for the eviction. But if you don't do that, then it's their right to do so. Of course, please check with your state. Maybe you have different timing. It might be a shorter or longer period of time, so double check with your state. Of course, if you don't comply and 3 days have passed, then the landlord or the property manager has the right to file a complaint. And usually a sheriff will come to notify you. From the moment you are served, you have 5 days to respond to the complaint, not including the day that you were served. So, of course, if you fail to reply to that complaint in those 5 days, a default judgment will take place and a writ of possession will be issued. Then a sheriff will notify you that you have 24 hours to leave the premises. Again, all this information is for the state of Florida, so make sure to verify if your state rules and regulations are similar. The only thing that can differ is the time period. And of course, if you don't walk away willingly, a sheriff will come after 24 hours to remove you from the property by force. After that, the property manager or the landlord can change the locks and they will not be responsible for your personal possessions. So I suggest you don't stay that long. It's nothing you can do now. You will be evicted, so better to pack your things and move out nicely in 24 hours. Of course, you can always answer and deposit the delinquent rent with the clerk of the court, but that doesn't mean that you will win the case unless you have really strong reasons for why you weren't able to pay before. And having financial difficulties is not a legal reason to not pay the rent. And so don't hope that just because you lost your job, that will be a sufficient reason for the judge to decide that you won't be evicted. But you should know that even if you fail to pay the rent or you breach the contract, still the landlord or the property manager cannot evict you without a court order, without a writ of possession. They cannot do it by themselves just like that, as per Chapter 83, Part 2 of Florida statutes. And again, these are rules and regulations of the state of Florida. So you guys should check with your state to see what are the rules and regulations. You want to act accordingly. So the landlord or the property manager cannot terminate the use of your utilities, even if these services are under his name and he is doing the payment. He's not allowed to do so. If the property manager or the landlord decides to change the locks, remove your things out of the property, break through a window or break the door, or try to evict you without a court order, you should know that that is illegal. And if you can successfully prove that the landlord or the property manager tried to evict you illegally, then they will be liable to pay the amount of 3 months rent or the actual damages, whatever is higher. My advice to you is to be a good tenant. Obviously, that's what we like. We are nice property managers, so we want to work with well-behaved tenants who take care of the property, pay on time, do not disturb the neighbors with loud noises, do not damage the property. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode that was sweet and short like always. If you would like to contact me, my email is down below. And please check our website. Maybe you have a property that you need to place it in the hands of a professional. Also, please like, subscribe, and share with a friend. Someone might need this information. Alright guys, until next time, have a great day!